Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Bucked Up Podcast. If you don't mind hitting the like and subscribe button, we have 2 new episodes coming out every week. Now let's get into it. I'm gonna hit record on the audio. Thank you so much for coming back and doing this. We lost the first episode, or the audio got fucked up on it, so we're re-recording. Thank you for doing this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rob. It's just a pleasure to be able to do this again, and I really appreciate you just keeping it professional and giving me a second chance, man.
Of course, we were just talking. This is the reason I started right there. Is what is your do you get stoned? Are you a smoker?
Yeah.
What's your high food?
Man, it used to be like Hot Pockets and shit.
Hot
Pockets? That was always quick. It's got to be something quick, man. I can't cook when I'm high, prepare a whole meal. It's got to be on the fly.
That's funny. I feel like Hot Pockets are too slow. I don't even want to microwave anything. I need something that I can open and eat right then.
That's fair.
Even to pop something in the microwave is too bad for me.
See, but I feel like when you binge, just chips or whatever it is, it fills you up for a minute, but then I need something hot. I need something just more to it than just dry. And then I'm all fucking cotton mouth, and I'm like, and then I feel like when you binge those type of snacks, bro, you're constipated as fuck, and you just wake up the next day and you're just, nah, why did I do that?
That is the worst cycle of getting too stoned at night, eating a lot, and then waking up feeling like shit. But you're just going to do that again the next time.
Fact, dude.
Are you a healthier person?
No, honestly, no. I need to work on my health.
Yeah, I went to my doctor. And he was like, "You're fat." He said that to me. He's hilarious. But I was like, damn, if he's saying that, I got to work on myself.
But you're tall, though, bro.
Yeah, but I'm 6'3", 280.
Hey, man.
No one in my family's tall either.
I don't think you're fat, Sam.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Maybe when we meet up in person, you'll think differently.
Yeah, I've never seen you with your shirt off, so that might be a little different story, but
that's on my Patreon. You have to pay. People have to pay for that content. That's hilarious. So last time we were talking, you were talking about how you came up with the SoundCloud scene. That's what you were enjoying, and that's what the type of music you were making.
Definitely.
Would you, it's funny, you said that, and afterwards I started thinking about it. What is the SoundCloud scene? What is that scene? What makes it different? I really was I know nothing about that.
And I'm definitely not the person that is the expert by any means on this, but it really covers a lot of broad areas. It can get boiled down all the way to just a specific umbrella, or it can be just the whole entire thing. But I would say what I classify as a SoundCloud scene is either artists in the past, maybe from 2012 to present, that were actively posting music and maybe still have still make music, or their shit's just on SoundCloud, or it's the new generation of cats that are actively posting on pretty much all platforms these days, but just actively chasing and actively posting on SoundCloud and building communities within that.
What were the artists in the beginning that you were looking up to in that scene?
There was a lot, and it's kind of difficult because a lot of artists that were on SoundCloud back then aren't or have switched to more professional on Spotify, on Apple Music type of thing. Not all of them, obviously, but I would say just pretty much my inspirations and kind of what influenced me and my sound was Chester Watson, Grimdoza, Nasty, Biscuit, Bushido, Bryson McGee, Godly. I could keep throwing names out there, but it's all kind of just builded off. But I definitely remember when I found Chester Watson, that's when it really kind of, what's the word, pulled me directly into a lot deeper and a lot more niche scene than what I was experiencing, I would say.
What about it was so drew you to it so much?
It was definitely the beats and just the way that Chester rapped and just how he expressed himself on a track. It was the music video. Phantom was the first shit I saw. Just like all those three things tied together. It just, it was also kind of around that time when Tyler, the Creator, was really big. And so I think it was also kind of inspired by that type of shit, or it just really fit into that type of, that time when that type of sound was big, or it's kind of like the lo-fi, you know, it's definitely that times have changed, but, Chester was just one of those people that was kind of doing it first on a lower scale that was, you know, getting traction and, really making a name for himself, I would say.
And were you an artist at that point, or were you still just a fan?
I was an artist. I probably at that point, I was still bumming it on the USB mic and probably still had the cracked version of FL, maybe was starting to buy my software around when I discovered that scene.
Is there like secondhand FL? Like, if you fucking burn it, is it a shittier quality?
It was like the free demo version. I guess I never really
thought
had
if
like
you were like torrenting it.
Yeah, I've never done that before where you kind of share with a friend or whatever, but I kind of just call it the burner version because it was just the free demo that was easy to download in 10 seconds online. So,
did you ever deal with like Pirate Bay or anything? I used to download like hella free video games and movies and all that shit.
I didn't get into that shit. I didn't even find about like MP3 to wait or like, you know, YouTube to MP3 or whatever until I was in 8th grade.
Really? I remember
that was my introduction.
That's so funny. It's funny how you get introduced to, like, as you said, not the mainstream music, like when you find it. Because Pirate Bay used to have this crazy shit where you could type in an artist's name and they would literally have all their songs, like even ones that people have hacked and taken from computers, like all the leaked songs, everything, demos from when they were 14 years old. Like, and when I was young, I didn't realize that wasn't supporting the artist. You know, I just was like, oh, I get to hear this Lil Wayne demo that's never been heard before. And that made me start diving into music. But then I learned, oh, this is probably hurting the artist more than it's helping or lending to my ears, you know?
You remember Spinrilla?
Yes, yeah, I do. Yeah. They just shut down DatPiff, I think, yesterday.
Yeah. Which is wild because I was on there trying to search for some old tracks from some certain artists, and like 2 weeks later they shut it down. I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
Those were the days, the like DatPiff live mixtapes.
And I miss that era.
You were SoundCloud. That was like, was your SoundCloud.
I've met the DatPiff legend, Chris Webby, though.
I met Chris Webby before too. That's hilarious.
He's cool, bro.
He's mad cool. I won't say what he did, but I did mushrooms when I met him. And we were like sick. On the beach. I don't know if you know his producer, Knox Beats. He did all of like Joyner Lucas's stuff, all of Chris Webby's stuff, all of like Token stuff. But he's out like by me. He's a really good dude.
That's sick.
Bro,
I was going to ask you too.
Oh, what were you saying?
I also saw that you interviewed Justin Clancy.
Yeah.
Which I met him on that tour as well.
Oh, really? Justin Clancy's like a good friend of mine.
That's crazy.
The Massachusetts scene's so like small, but also like you never know who knows who.
I just remember I was asking him some questions, and it was just like in a meet and greet line, and I was just bringing up like, you know, you do all these things in the music and it costs all this money, and you question yourself, and it's just kind of overwhelming. And how do you deal with that? How do you deal with just all the years and being consistent and whatever? And he just told me some inspirational words, but I just remember him saying, "Don't quit or you're a pussy." And I mean, even as simple as that was, like he like really meant that with sincerity of like, don't quit. Like you're walking away from what could be. and that was just something that I felt like stuck with me. And I
Yeah.
didn't even meet him. That was like the first time I even heard of him. Like, and I was just asking him, and then I looked in his music, watched the show, and it was like really cool show.
He's an amazing dude, and I think that advice, like, it's tough when you want to ask someone for advice. That's kind of the only advice you can give someone, and it's so important. Like, you feel it too, but like, say you do quit, you're never that artist. If you don't quit, you are always an artist. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be as successful as you want or what, but if you don't quit, you are that thing.
And kind of extending on that is, I think as an artist, a lot of people, like maybe a producer and artist, can relate to this, but you just keep consistent at your craft and you don't really, I don't know, for me, I don't think too far ahead. I just think very in the moment and what my next move is and just baby steps. But you get so caught up in creating is fun and you keep doing it and you love to do it every single day, but you kind of don't really realize or kind of lose track in your head of like time frames of just how far you come and you progress and whatever. And I was just sitting in my bed, like listening to some of my tracks I'd made recently and old tracks and shit, just like getting high. And just it hit me of, wow, man, I came a long way and I'm already just satisfied with where I am at. Or you just feel like this sense of being present in the moment and really appreciating what you have instead of just always wanting more and being so near, I don't know what it is, the word nearsighted or just always wanting more.
That is like a really hard thing to fight in your own brain, is because you have to go against immeasurable odds against the world and yourself to start creating. When you say, like, I'm going to be an artist, you give up everything other than that. Honestly, that's how it works. And then when it doesn't happen for you right away, you think, but I gave everything up for this. Like, why isn't it working? When really it's the journey. Like, the journey is what every single person goes through. Like, you ever seen someone go viral on TikTok for like the dumbest shit, or on Instagram Reels for like the dumbest shit? And you're like, how the fuck did they just get 10 million views from this? And then you go look at their page and they've been doing dumb shit for years. It just happened to be this look like this one thing that they didn't put any effort into is the thing that blew them up. When really, like, no, it just took them that long to get to that point. Like,
Definitely.
and that's kind of the thing you just have to deal with is like, all right, maybe it's going to take longer, but am I going to give up or am I going to enjoy the journey?
And I think it also boils down to just establishing something that you really can support and that is authentic to you, because as time progresses, like you're going to fall out of place with who you're trying to be because it's a front or whatever. And then, just, it's just important to be genuine and that it helps you enjoy the journey more because you really support what you're doing and it's not just for a certain motive.
When did you become the artist? When did you make that decision in yourself?
Well, I was kind of thinking about this the other day too, but it was just over time, I think that, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought when I was answering that question, but this is what I was going to say is I think everything happens for a reason. And some people, that's what their path was to blow up on TikTok. And some people, whatever, like everyone has their own path. But for me, it was like the trial and error thing where I just had to keep failing. I mean, I had a whole year's worth of music under a certain alias that I never even dropped. So that allowed me to create, a certain headspace in my mind where I wasn't concerned with everything. I wasn't concerned with, just all these building blocks that I just built as an artist to where I'm at now is as I had to conquer, fear of what others people think. And then I had to conquer, certain things that just propelled me further and helped me shape me as an artist into what it is now.
What do you think your biggest challenge was in yourself? Like, what did you have to overcome?
I mean, I'd say the big leap that I have to overcome right now, or just I'm struggling with right now, is just kind of where social media is going and just how everything is so negative and just so cutthroat, and everyone's just king of the hill, wants this spot, and it's just a competitive thing, and it's hard to not get caught up in all that. And um like I was saying, like, be in that space where it's like you're in your own world outside of the industry. But if you just, for me, if I look at the industry of just all these drama, and this person has beef with this person, and just like all these politics and shit, then I just get so overwhelmed, and just like, I want to quit. Like, this isn't for me. But then I just realized that I'm doing this for me, and like, you got to be in your own world with that type of shit. And that's what I kind of fight with. And I think every artist does. But I would say the real funny thing that I actually ended up achieving or overcoming was, I remember back in the day, it was during that time that I was experimenting with the Alias for a whole year and had all this music and shit. And most of it was just beats, because I would, I would bring my computer to these parties that we would have or whatever, and I would just want to fuck around when I was fucked up and shit. And so I would like make all these beats in front of people, or just like to myself, and then I would like show people. Or it was just like, I had made all these beats at my house, and then I was going to go to a party. I always wanted to show people, like my friends at a party, or just like, we're hanging out, like, oh, you should listen to this, like, listen to this beat, listen to the song. And everybody was always hating. Everybody was, this shit's all right. And it took me until just trial and error. And I remember just being in this mode of, I'd show people, they wouldn't like it. I'd go back, try to make something better. I'd come back, they wouldn't like it. And I was just always in this try to like outdo myself. And I just realized that it doesn't matter. And I'm doing this for me. And the shit that I make now that I think sounds good, other people like. But if I was still trapped in that state, I would be at step 2 right now.
Is that what makes you want to be the anonymous rapper?
Like, in the sense of like, have some type of hidden hatred or whatnot.
No, just that you are like a hidden rapper. Like, you're literally, and I know we talked about that, but like, you're literally wearing a mask right now. Like, you don't want people to know who you are. You want the music to speak for itself. Is that where it kind of stemmed from?
I think it's that of just, like we talked before, of just wanting to, I didn't think people would accept me of my personal image. I feel like I wanted something more than that. And just the whole SoundCloud, live through the internet type of thing that we talked about. But I also think that through talking to you about this question before, I was just kind of talking, and I, when you just talk about something and you really just answer your question, and it's the whole yin yang shit. I mean, I just feel like, as Warrenk, I'm not so concerned about what people think, and I don't let people invade my headspace when I'm writing or making music. And it's just like a different thing. But if I was trying to make music as who I am as a person, all those thoughts would come into play. I would be, I would let the town opinion fuck with my head. I mean, I think the mask thing just helps me totally evade all of those thoughts and just really create and like tap in.
How do you differentiate those two versions of yourself? Like, how do you not let your personal life interfere with your work and your artist self?
I mean, I remember like at first it was a struggle of, you want to just tell everybody, you want to let everybody know, and you do one thing good and you're like, all right, I'm going to tell everyone. But it's really just hidden confidence and just having something that people don't know, or just that hidden confidence of, yeah, you go to work, you get treated like shit, your boss treats you like shit, you're nobody, but then you go home and you walk in the studio and you're
mm-hmm.
But I think it's also a humbling thing, and it's just realizing that I like to go, I mean, not that I like to get treated like shit, but it's scary. It's not good to have yes men around you. It's not good to get so caught up in your own ego and be so self-immersed in who you are. And people can, I mean, not with everybody, but I mean, I've studied a lot of artists, and sometimes people get so big and they create a character and whatever, and then they blow up and they're just so big and they just kind of blow their own reality out of their, like they can't accept the reality that they live in anymore because it's just so crazy. You know what I mean? And
do you know who the comedian Andrew Dice Clay is? He's like an old-timey comedian. He was the one who did like those old nursery rhymes. Like, hickory dickory dock, she was sucking my cock. Shit like that. Like, he was just being dumb. And he would have like slicked back hair and look like a greaser, you know, like the leather jacket and shit. And he was the first comedian to ever sell out Madison Square Garden. So like, he's a big name. And his story is he was like this nerdy Jewish comedian. And he was like getting treated like shit. So he just created this character of Andrew Dice Clay, who was this like greaser tough guy. And then he started selling out and he blew up as Andrew Dice Clay, even though that's not who he really was. And he ended up having to like become that character. Like if you meet him, he is that character he created now. He's not who he was in the beginning. I think his name's like Andrew Lieberman or something. It's like he literally created this like world of like being tough around him that he had to live in. And honestly, like he's still very funny. So that's not what I'm saying this for. But like he's not big anymore. He's the first comedian to ever sell out Madison Square Garden. And he'll do like 200 person rooms now. And it's like he wasn't able to keep up with the reality he created around him, you know?
And kind of to add on that, I wanted to say, so I work at night. I work the night shift and I can have headphones in and shit. So recently I've just been watching hella interviews, and I was watching an interview on Jim Carrey, and he was kind of talking about a similar topic of not losing yourself. He was, I can't name the comedian for certain, but they were just talking about drugs and how drugs can, you know, some comedians needed drugs to be able to perform and you know, whatnot. And, getting lost in these characters and stuff like that. And how do you feel about that just as a comedian and kind of the role you play in that?
I think it's really tough for me sometimes because my on-stage persona is a little wild. Like I like to talk about the shit that I've gone through, my wilder times. Like I like to turn who I am up to 10, you know, but I'm not at 10 all the time. So, like, it's kind of funny. All right. So, like, when I met my girlfriend, we met at a comedy show. She was running a comedy show. And, like, when I get up on stage, I'm talking about, like, fucking other girls and just being wild, you know? But then she meets me off stage, and I'm a nice guy. That's not who I am. That was my past. Like, I was a crazy person when I was, like, 17 to 21. Like, I went wild. But like now it's kind of like honing that person into who I am on stage. And for me, that's not who I am. But I think it's tough when like family members or friends of family or like her family Google me and they see me talking wild. But like that's not who I am, even though that is who I am, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I get caught up is like, damn. Like, even on this podcast, I used to talk wild about, like, family shit and just not care. And then, like, I had family members come up and be like, yo, like, I get that you're just trying to be honest, but, like, you're hurting the family. Like, you can't be saying this stuff. And then in your mind, you have to be like, well, am I the artist? Or am I, like, do I just want to be fully the artist? Or do I also still want to be ingrained in normal person life? Which I do. Like, I want a family. I want a relationship. I want friends. Like, I don't have to give up all that to be an artist, but maybe I have to, like, change who I am as an artist to get all of that.
I never even thought about it like that as far as the family thing. Like, you're making a joke about a family member or whatever, or you're, you know, it's like, I can't really tell that joke if my family's here, you know?
No, I didn't even really think about that. And then they came, and I was like, oh, you're right. Like, Yeah, it's so funny. Like I interviewed one of my dad's favorite musicians. And on that interview, I kind of talked shit about my dad. And so then my dad watches the interview and calls me and is like, how the fuck could you say that stuff about me? And to me, I was just like talking. Like when you talk, you don't think about what you're talking about. You just kind of like go. But to him, he's like, Sam meant to bring this up to hurt my feelings with my favorite musician. And it's like, shit, I do have to be mindful of that, you know?
Yeah.
I like that's why I get what you're doing. And that's why, like, even on this second interview, I like want to push the question is because like, I do understand that mentality of just having your art be separate. But I don't think people would like, I think music is different. Music has two things. You can either enjoy music or you can learn from music. And a lot of people just enjoy music and they don't think about the deeper meanings of it. But like when you start thinking about the deeper meanings, then you have to think, how is this going to affect all the other people in my life?
And I think maybe I haven't done such a good job of that. I don't think I've necessarily, I mean, I remember back in the day, bruh, I made a oh boy, do I even want to bring this up? There was this teacher, they used to, oh no. I'll just keep it brief. I had kind of threw a bar in on one of my songs about my teacher at the time, and I was passing my mixtape out at school, and that just blew the fuck up. Of everyone was just like, "Dude, that was so funny that you added that in there." But anyway, I mean, I don't feel like I'm not throwing disses out there. I'm not, talking directly. I think you can kind of talk vaguely in music that you can kind of dodge that, but if you're on stage and you're a comedian, I mean, it's just a lot different type of thing. I also wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
So do you think, I mean, I've just heard things, old comedians talk about how the comedy world is a little brutal. What is your comment on that, Mr. Sandbach?
It definitely is brutal. That's why I hang out with rappers. Like I have a very small group of comedian friends. Most of my friends are from the podcast and rap world because you got to like think what type of person wants to be a comedian. And I'll limp myself into that. It's a person who wants a whole room to just listen to them talk and say horrible shit, So when you put a bunch of those people together, it usually gets pretty toxic, Because also there's one person on stage. So they think that there's only so many like slices of the pizza. So then people start getting brutal and think that like a lot of people, I think, get mad at me for having this podcast or being successful at this podcast, thinking I don't deserve it. But it's like, you really want to talk to rappers? Like, you don't like music like that. Like, I like music like this, and you're still jealous of what I have, even though you don't give a fuck about this,
Yeah.
Is that not what it's like in music? Like, do you not feel competitive with other people?
Man. See, it's honestly just it's upsetting at the end of the day, because as a creative, you should it's the thing that I was talking about earlier. Everybody can reach their full potential in this shit, but not everybody's going to win. And so, but everybody has different paths. Not everyone's meant to win, but you can achieve your full potential. And it's that type of thing, but people get so caught up in that. And I see it as the bigger you get. I mean, this is in any industry, but the bigger you get, that's when the vultures come out. That's when people try to drag you down. That's when people try to, slither in or do anything they can to bring you down or, bring out your worst moments. And, I just wish it wasn't like that, but I mean, it's a power trip thing. It's bigger than just society. It's bigger than just, that era. I think it's humanity, years of data, and the rise of power and fame. I mean, it's just these so stereotypical already plotted out things. I mean, you can read a book about just certain shit like that. Like, you ever read like 48 Laws of Power?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm reading that shit right now. But just you see certain things in all types of competitions of power, politics, entertainment. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be a wet blanket or just a sob story here. It's just, I realize that the less you let shit affect you, it almost doesn't exist. You know, you can sit and think about how somebody wronged you for the rest of your life and let that eat away at you. And, and same thing with, like I said, of just, I'm really glad that I established that free mind of all these negative thoughts when I'm in the studio, but as soon as I leave, and that's when all that stuff kind of comes out, but the music's already done. So, but just gotta be a positive person, and I guess just try to help everybody win, and it's just a process.
What is winning to you? Like, what would you consider yourself winning? If you say like winning is different for everybody.
I would say, just for instance, maybe let's just say an example. I have a music friend, and he is more talented. He's more hardworking. He's just more gifted than I am. But we both play a role in our careers. But I reach this point. We come up together. I reach this point. He reaches that point, or she, or they, or whoever. And some people can get salty at this point because, we came up together and he's there and I'm here. But you have to realize that, I don't know. I just think of all the things that I wanted to go right in my career. Why didn't that happen to me? Why didn't this happen to me? But there's always something better for you. Like, it's just, everybody's destined for a different thing. And I think people get caught up in that jealousy of just competition. And when they think of win, they think Drake mode. That's what they think.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean, I am being rude looking at my phone, but I'm pulling up a Young Thug lyric from a couple of years ago on the song TikTok. And on that, he says, and it's a worth it line, so I'm sorry it's taking me a minute. Do you want to know how it is when you a big dog? You might got to take the assist, let your dog to get the big shot. And that's exactly. Like, and I think about that a lot with Young Thug, like where Young Thug is right now, in prison, locked up, not looking good for him, But he did all that so Lil Baby could shine. Like, if
honestly, I'm not too well versed in that whole situation, but
I just mean like Young Thug did. He gave up, like he kind of did everything. He was going to be the star, but he knew that he could only hit a certain line. And so he gave everything to Baby. And even if you don't know anything about Lil Baby, he's one of the biggest rappers in the world right now. Selling numbers wise, he is. And I do think that taking the assist is important sometimes.
Or like Puya and Suicide Boys.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think people, at the end of the day, you are the only thing like holding yourself back. Just like how what Justin Clancy said, like, if you quit, you're a pussy. Like, you are the person holding yourself back from whatever. And that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. But you also can't get jaded about it or angry about it if someone else is on their path.
Mm. And I mean, I've had some bad situations with people that I just let into my life in person on some music shit, and they turned bitter and they were very envious and trying to use me and get information and whatever. But I don't know. I just don't see why people can have that type of hate in their heart and, be throwing shade on your page, or just like why people stick around to watch you and hate on you, instead of just using that time to go better themselves and get a bag or just improve their situation. They'd rather just try to make your situation worse. And it's like those type of people that I just can't stand in this world.
But it's just easier for them. Like, of course you can fault them, but of course, like I get mad. That happens to me Hell, that's literally happened to me 15 minutes before we got on. Like, if we're on some real shit, literally all day I've been dealing with some like real personal shit where people in my life are trying to tear me down for no other reason that they aren't focusing on what they need to, you know? And that's fine. Like, but I can't even fault them on that because, as I said in the beginning, choosing to focus on yourself and choosing to do what you want, you have to go against everything. And that choice a lot of people can't make and don't even know that they can't make that decision. They think talking shit is the only thing when literally, we all have the same 24 hours. That's like a known saying. Dumb. But it's true. Like if you wasted an hour talking shit, that's an hour you could have fucking gone and read a book or worked on some music or recorded a podcast or go send emails you needed to. Like, people aren't willing to make the choice to take themselves seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a question I asked you way back in the beginning and we kind of we got off of it. But when did you make that decision to become the artist, to take yourself seriously?
Like a year or a time period or?
Yeah, like was there a moment in your brain that clicked that you were like, I do have to just go all in. Like I have to pull the trigger.
Well, it was the diss track shit when I was 14 or whatever. That was the shit that like it kind of blew up semi. That was the one I would say that like showed me that I wanted to do it for good. But I would say that through my career, there's just been so many boom and bust and days, weeks that I waked up and I didn't want to make music and I just wanted to quit and I literally just wanted to stop. And I don't know, I mean, I think this is a really weird and just kind of mind-boggling analogy or a realization that I've made, but I realize that with a lot of things in life, in the current state that I'm in, I think I don't know what the term is or, whatever it is, but when you go on a hike or like, this is sorry, it's taking long to get this point out, but, I think it was back I don't want to speak on shit that I don't know about and sound like uneducated, but I believe back in the day, Native Americans would leave stones to mark where they were, right? Or they would point out rocks and use them as landmarks. And I just think about certain things in my life, like having self-doubt in the music shit. I come back. It's like setting a rock down and keep, you're going in a loop. I like there's some cartoons or like anime or whatever where they like realize they're in like a vortex or like a loop because they like, it's that type of thing where you realize that you just keep going through the same thoughts and the same things and you just have to really chase it and just say, you know what, I'm not going to have those thoughts anymore. And I think I'm finally getting to that point where I recognize the thoughts and the days that I wake up and I'm fuck this, dude, I'm done. And I'm like, nah, you're just in the moment, you're tired, I'm able to really not let that destroy my world as bad as I used to.
How did you get past that? Like, what did you tell yourself? How did you teach yourself to change that?
Well, it's a lot of things. I think it's the thing that I said about setting the stones down, coming back to the same path. And then also, you ever heard of Rob Dyrdek before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bro, Rob Dyrdek is fire. But he has a podcast, bruh, and he just talks about a bunch of shit of just bettering your life and success and shit like that. And I don't know exactly what he was saying. I watched like 1,000 episodes, I swear, or 100 or however many he has. But just talking about how when you have those thoughts, I mean, I don't know. It's really just quantifying, really just understanding a sense of time. And just like you were saying, I could spend a week doubting myself and beating myself up and wanting to turn away from a path that I followed for 10 years, or I could use that week to make a EP and be one EP further. It's just realizing how quick you move and just really utilizing it's not productive in a time sense to be doubtful. It's unmotivating. There's something that I also think of, that this analogy, crazy, and another one of those crazy analogies that just really resonates to me is, I think I have this vision of, I remember one day I saw this video of some dude, you've probably seen the video before, of some dude like climbing some crazy ass tall building, and then the dudes are like shouting out to him like, get down, and he's just, no, let me, like, and I just think about when you're in that type of state where you're climbing a building or you're rock climbing or whatever, if you can't get caught up in looking down and saying, oh shit, if I made one false move, I would fall. Yeah. Because you're so angst out. But if you just are focused on the task at hand, you're gonna live. And it's really just that thing of just, I find it as having a career is like climbing a fucking building, and you could make one false move and fall, or you could complete the climb.
I love that analogy. That's like, I fuck with that heavy, and I don't think I ever was able to put the perfect words to that thought that you just did. Because I was talking to a friend about this earlier. Like, when I started this podcast, everyone thought I was crazy, because I would just talk to people, like, whatever it is, talking about the hallucinogens, talking to rappers, putting out tons of episodes that no one was listening to. Like, people just thought I was crazy, but I knew that there was an end goal, and I knew that there was something greater. And I still know that something's greater than where I'm at now. But I had to break through that chain, like I had to break through the thought process of what others would think and not look down and keep moving. And that is exactly what being a creative is. It's not looking down when you're climbing the building.
Back.
What are your high points? Like, what to you made you feel like you were on the right path?
I could answer that question in a couple different ways. One would just be, I try not to get too caught up in the material things of, oh, I work with this person and whatever, but the getting a song with Chester Watson, getting a song with Doza, and that song's not released yet. A couple other dudes that I've wanted to work with, Selly, trying to think, Curb-a-Goop, things like that. That's definitely been some highlights, because it's just that reassurance of listening to them over the years. The other thing is just, like you said, just those moments that I get of waking up and just realizing how far I've came, and thinking back to when I started and where I'm at. And if I could show, I try to think of, if I was my own fan, would I fuck with myself? And I think I've reached that point where I'm like, yeah, if I was just looking for my own music or whatever out there, I think I'd fuck with my music. Trying to think some other things. And I mean, there's a couple other things, but I would say feeling a sense of feeling like you're included, or that you're a part of it, just from being a listener, transitioning into actually being an artist, when you actually feel like you're a part of the scene. And I think I've kind of started to reach that point. People are starting to kind of know my name or whatever, or, I mean, to a very, micro scale, obviously. But when you kind of start to feel like you're part of something that you always wanted to be, it's just a little thing, Sam, I'd say, of really what I'm trying to, reach at, or I would say that are my biggest, highlights of just, wow, I'm here,
That's cool, because you said, you just explained what we were talking about earlier. It's the journey, like, you like the journey, you like becoming a part of it. And it's not like you're like, oh, I got this song, so fuck everything, like I'm the king of the world. It's like, nah, you're like, these are just small steps. Like, on an episode, were we talking about this on the last episode? Maybe not, but beside the point. I was talking to DJ Tay James, who's Justin Bieber's DJ and manager. The episode's actually coming out this week.
Crazy.
He's a huge fan of Griselda, so it's so funny. You know what I mean? Hey, if you want to know if Justin Bieber has ever heard of West Side Gun, listen to that episode. But I asked him, like, how did you get to where you are? Because honestly, if we're talking about who the top DJs in the world is, if you're Justin Bieber's DJ, that's probably number 1 or 2, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't skip any steps. That was his answer. And that is like, I fucked with that heavy. He didn't skip any steps. He enjoyed the journey, you know?
Exactly. It's also kind of, the reason why you can't fight the final 4 in Pokemon right away. You got to level up your Pokemon. You got to switch them out. You got to go through that whole journey to be able to beat the game and catch Mewtwo and catch the legendary Pokemon and all that.
Like, look at what Grimdoza has gone through, like his career path. And when you listen to our episode, he's very clear about that it's just like he got caught up and it's just the journey and he enjoys the journey. And that's why he's such an amazing artist and why he keeps growing and going is because he understands what it's supposed to take, you know, and he just sticks with it.
Yeah, and I thought that was such a great interview. And I remember taking that lesson away as well from that interview it was kind of a humbling moment because I think he had one more interview that dropped around the same time. I think you had like the second interview like 2 weeks later, but it was kind of a big moment of getting him on a podcast. That was the first time he's done that type of interview and just heard him talk about just how much he's done and to keep going and that it's a journey and that you got to keep persevering. And that was kind of a big affirmation for me of just, yeah, man, you got to keep doing it.
And it's, yeah, I really do have such a newfound, it was really cool hanging with Tony Schno in Philly the other week and being able to like talk to him about Grim, you know, because I was like, once you know someone, like once I was like, oh, I know Grimdoza, he was like, all right, we're cool now, you know, and then I could actually talk to him about stuff. We didn't do an episode, but it's like, he's been around for so many different intervals in music and he just stays with it. It's like The Alchemist. It's like, if you just stay with it and just keep moving with the times, like people will recognize it.
Yeah. And I think half the battle is just keep running, you know?
Yeah.
It's the whole marathon type of thing.
When is the song with Doza dropping?
So since I've already said it, it's on like this Mafia inspired tape. And I'm going to get another artist named Lil Wretched on that tape as well. And it's probably going to be like 3 songs and my production. The Doza song's already done. That's just like one of them. And I'm trying to finish that up this summer. I'm just working on a lot of shit and making beats just takes so fucking long for me. I mean, I love the process, but it just really wastes a lot of time that you could be banging out 10 songs, you know, but so that'll be on that. And I'm really hyped for that tape, and it's still kind of in the progress. But I could I'll have to send you the song.
Oh, I'd love to hear it. So do you see yourself more as a rapper or as a producer?
I was talking about this on a different podcast, but I wouldn't even classify myself as a producer, period, because I don't think you're really a producer until you start playing instruments and you start really having engineering sounds, you know how to mix music, you know how to, I mean, basically point being is there's just a difference between playing around on a DAW versus hearing a bird outside and sampling that and, being innovative. But I would say playing instruments is really kind of the final check mark on my list. I play guitar, I play piano, but I don't really correlate that into my production, but I really just produce for myself. And if I hear a certain artist on something, then I'll send him that, but I don't sit and like make all these beats and then send them out to all these artists and really be known as the producer or take that route. I just do it for me.
Do you know the rapper Sonny Jim from England?
Mm-mm.
I was talking to him. He's had songs with like MF Doom and Jay Electronica and Madlib and DJ Premier and like all them. But he was saying that he produces too. And I asked him the same question. And he was saying he started producing out of necessity. He's like, I'm not getting the beats I need, so I'm just going to like make them. But is that kind of how you feel?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. That's a big part of how I started with wanting to make beats was I just felt so strongly that well, it costs a lot of money, honestly, to like buy beats, I think. And that was a big thing. And then it was just, this beat's kind of what I want, but not what I want. And a big part of, I had said this in an interview before, but I started making beats when I was probably 14, but I mastered the art of creating synths and sampling with the synths, but I could never understand how time signatures worked and how to get the bass and how to just put all these sounds together to make everything cohesive and together. But when I took guitar in high school, that's when everything clicked. It was like, okay, and now I know how to do drums because of just the time signatures and playing. But I had already mastered the synths, but my fucking drums just sucked.
But you don't think that makes you a producer? Like learning how to play the instruments, helping your beat making?
And I might be making some enemies right now, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't think, in my opinion, that producing is that hard. It's just like everything else. It just takes time. There's definitely a creative thing to it. I would say that there are producers, that really are more than, they have a certain aesthetic. And I think the more you build on that and really, have a certain sound, and maybe you engineered a whole different wave of how the 808s are hidden, or, there's certain accomplishments that I think you could, classify yourself as a producer. But I do think that there's a lot of producers on a lower scale that think they know everything, and they think that they're a producer, but they're just throwing sounds together in FL on the demo version of, it's just, yeah. I've seen a little bit of that. So
all right. What do you have to accomplish to consider yourself a producer now?
Well, and then it's all these different things. I think maybe people are trying to getting the wrong point I'm trying to make, but I really don't think that I'm a producer because I don't sit down and make all these beats for people and send them out. I make what I want to rap on, and then I try to get other people that want to rap on it with me.
Will it hit a point where you aren't producing and when you can just get beats easily?
That's kind of where I'm at right now, man. I do so many free collabs that I just get all these producers and artists hitting me up, and then that just spirals into all kinds of shit. I always got beats in my DMs now. It's wild.
That's
and
awesome.
I kind of have taken a step back from producing, honestly, just because of that, and just seeing how many songs I can bang out doing it that way.
But like on the song that you got with Doza, you produced that?
Yeah.
That's dope. Like you got him rapping on one of your beats, Yeah,
but
that's just not where you feel fulfillment.
Well, I feel fulfillment in that, like, I have some cool credits. I produced for Grim Doza, Curb Goop, who else? Young Beans, some Lozelli, or no, I haven't produced for Lozelli. I have a song with him though, but just certain people.
I just got onto his music recently.
You fuck with Zelly?
Yeah, I had a mutual friend with him, and then I got onto his music through that.
He's hard, man. And I would say one thing that I really took from him that I want to, apply to my career is just that man he's probably got to be like second or third in the underground of like most fucking EPs made in history. I mean, you can dig. He has like two EPs or like albums, bro, that are like 100 songs long. Like unheard of, bro. Yeah. Crazy.
I love rappers like that. I love rappers like when you look back, like, you know who Certified Trapper is?
Yeah.
He put out like fucking 30 albums in a year or some shit last year. And then when you go back and you just like can dig, YNJ's the same way. Shit, a lot of the Griselda guys are the same way. Like Griselda has so much material that you can go back and listen to.
And I think it's kind of, I don't know. I see that when you really push that bar and you make a lot of shit, you get used to how you work. So let's say if you spend three hours on a song, then you're only going to make, and let's just say you make one song a day, you're only going to make however many songs a week. But then if you are able to bang out a song in an hour, then you multiply that by 3 of how many songs you're going to be able to make. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm in the point of my career right now where I'm like every single song is a little bit of XP added to the value of pushing me forward. But I can't imagine if I was in a place like Zelly where I have so much music I forgot half of what I've even made. Bones is another example. I just don't know what I would do if I was at that point. But it's a bliss thing because I do even do that with how much music I have of just, fuck, dude, I forgot about that song.
Yeah.
But
would you ever perform live, or have you performed live?
I did the whole DJ shit and the radio shit and like DJ gigs and all that, but I never have. I guess I did one open mic actually at my community college, and I fucking bombed it. I was I was so nervous, bro.
What happened? I was like, what's bombing in music like?
Well, I mean, I would say like if you bomb it like two different ways, like either you fucking chicken out or people just ain't fucking with your set and they're just like booing you or just ain't vibing. But I was like half laughing, like kind of, I don't know. I was like in the point. It was like, dude, because like, I feel like, you know, people just know me as a totally different person. And then if I was just to kind of like get in the Warren mood or like the Warren mode, I just thought people would like laugh at me or just not take me seriously. I don't know.
Did you do it with the mask or no mask?
No mask too. So I wasn't trying to be like all like rough and just, I don't know. I just thought it would be too much. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm not doing this. Never mind.
So performing's not for you.
No, performing is not for me, and I'll never do that shit. I don't care if I'm like Cardi level. I like won't perform, bro.
Yeah, Cardi does not know how to perform.
I've never seen him.
I saw him. I took a lot of mushrooms, so I'm tripping and I'm front row, and I'm excited because I love his music. But literally, he didn't rap a single word to the entire song, any song. Every like 30 seconds to a minute, he'd go caw, caw, like a bird. Literally the entire concert, and I'm just sitting there tripping like, what is happening? And everyone's moshing around me and raging, and I'm like, what? Like, I literally was in like a fever dream. You know what I mean?
The gates of hell were slowly opening.
Yeah, I was like, why are they calling right now? You ever gone to any shitty concerts?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, even growing up, bro, I remember my parents would take me to basketball games and shit, and I would just cry and cry. And that's another reason why I'm not about the performance shit. But I can stand it as an adult now to go out, but I can only take it for so long, bro. I get tired of the ignorance around me of people, you know, especially at a show, like getting drunk and falling over and stumbling into you and like that type of shit. And then like being crunched, bro. It just gets me claustrophobic, but I've only been to 3 or 4 shows, and every one of them I've seen, they were great.
Who were
I would say I have
any rappers.
Yeah. So I saw Chris Webby, and then Echo was on that tour. Annoyed was on there. Justin Clancy was on there, and then
whatever you say about his music, Chris Webby is a great performer. He knows how to put on an amazing show.
I fuck with Webby heavy. He's an OG, but yeah, he's great. He's a great performer as well. And then I've seen Felly live, met him. And then Gyps was on tour with him. And then
that's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah.
Felly, that's crazy. That like brought back so many memories when you just said his name.
That's right. I've seen Spider Gang on tour, and then I saw Khalid when I was like 15 in concert, and it was around like Teenage Dream. What was that shit called? Teenage Romance or some shit like that. I
hate Khalid. I'm sorry to say, he's someone that I just can't, like, my brain just won't. I can't listen to his music really.
Bro, I haven't peeped his recent shit, but I'll tell you what, that album was fucking hard back in the day when that shit dropped. I was fucking with that.
I hate that fucking Young, Dumb, and Full of Cum and Poor song.
Bro,
whatever
what?
That.
I mean, that shit's old news by now, but when that shit dropped, that shit was hard.
You know what? I'm being a little. I hope Khalid doesn't listen to this podcast.
Everyone's like, man, this Sam Buck dude is a real hater over here.
No, I used to work at a shop, a burrito shop. And every single day, that's all we would listen to was his music. And I just hated working, that I think I associate my coworkers who loved his music and the shitty work and the having to just listen to that song over and over and over again to just me being like, fuck him in general.
That's fair. That's fair.
You have any artists like that? Or like there's TV shows like, you know, like when you're dating someone and you watch a TV show with them and then you break up and then you're like, fuck, I can't watch that show anymore. It's like it's the same thing, but just with work with Khalid.
Not that I can't watch, but I'd say The Simpsons does that for me.
The Simpsons?
Yeah. I had an old girlfriend that we used to watch that shit with.
I was rewatching The Simpsons with a friend like last year, and it's so funny. Like The Simpsons things get so popular that you almost are like, it can't be good. Like it can't be that good because it's so popular. But then we went back and we rewatched like all The Simpsons, and we are like, damn, this show's amazing. But like,
bro, that's fact.
It's like Drake. Like I don't even love Drake. But, like, to be like he sucks as an artist, it's like he's just wicked popular. You know, like, you just don't like him because he's popular. Like, he doesn't suck as an artist. He might not be your cup of tea, but, like.
That's fair.
Some of the most gangster rappers I know, like, literally, like, straight are like, if you talk shit about Drake, I know I don't fuck with you. Like, that shit's so funny to me, you know?
Now Drake's a go. I mean, I feel like every single thing that Drake drops is fire. Like he's gifted, but I would say like as an art, like as a person, or like, you know, I'm not like a Drake fan, but I can't disrespect Drake because that man always be bringing some fire.
That is hard, separating the artist from the art, you know?
Yeah.
As a fan. Like, you know, we were talking about you separating who you are as an artist, but like as a fan, if someone I like does some fuck shit, or even like I've had people I love treat me wrong in the DMs or like beat a dick to me. And I'm like, damn, I still like your music, but like I don't respect you anymore. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely been a bit of that in my career. I think honestly, I kind of explained this last time, but it's hard to it's like that whole thing of expecting too much out of people. And I think just in this day and age, I mean, I just see it more and more, and as I get bigger and realize it is just like the oh, I love your music DM, it just doesn't do it. Doesn't really, I mean, not that I haven't even really got that much love, but like, you know, I just can't imagine at that level getting that type of love. And I just think that it's really like a confusion with, I would say, that as far as people expect too much, and then the artist, you know, wants to be in his own space. And I just think that kind of causes certain things where it is the separation between the artist and the music. And you know, some people like I like, sorry, that was kind of a stroll off into a different direction, but point being is that some people that I've met, I've got rubbed the wrong way on, and I'm like, oh, fuck them, like they fucking scam me or whatever it was. But then, you know, oh, it's just a miscommunication. But then there has been people who are like, no, you were a piece of shit, you fucking scammed me, and you never even responded. So it's like, you know, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And that is tough though. Like I get the I love your music isn't enough. Because it is enough when it's just that. Or I don't want to speak for you, but for me, like I'll have a lot of people DM me and be like, I love the podcast. I love your comedy. I love what you're doing. And they'll be like, oh, thanks, man. That means a lot. Like that really means a lot. And they'll be like, here's my music. Let me come on the podcast. And they think because they complimented me, they like deserve the space. And then it makes me feel like PTSD with comments, because I'm like, does this person actually like if I reply to this person saying they like my shit, are they going to actually like it, or are they just going to be asking me for some shit?
Exactly.
I hate that.
And it's that shit too. It's the clout chase and shit. It's the manipulation games. It's just people using you to get where they want. And I wish that shit didn't exist, man, but we're all human. It's a human trait, like I was talking about earlier.
When does the Mafia EP drop? Sometime soon?
Like I was saying, I'm still kind of getting in the spring, or like getting back in the saddle with making beats. I need to just finish that. But I have a hard time, man, because I really, especially with beats and shit, I have to like really just lock in and make everything right then and there. Otherwise, a lot of my tapes kind of get scrapped and thrown into. But that one's not getting scrapped. Like that's just gonna drop. But then, I'm really just focused on the Curb tape right now. It's so close to being done. It's getting mixed right now, probably a week or two, maybe a month away. And I already got the promotion and everything in store and locked in. So it's going to be dropping very soon.
Oh, that's dope as fuck. Do you have a name for it yet?
I think I'm going to spill the beans on this, because I think what we're going to do is I'll just have you drop it like the same day that I drop the tape or whatever, if that's cool.
Yeah, that works.
The interview. But okay, so the whole thing with the Mafia, or the tape with Curb, is it's called Tower of Terror, based off of the Disney movie with Steve Guttenberg and Kristen Dunst, I think is how you say her name. This movie was just really big, or really meant a lot to me when I was a kid, because when my dad would be working, my mom was working on her degree or master's degree, so she would just kind of dump us off to my aunt's house. And my aunt is a little older, and she has older kids, so she like grew up in the 90s, or like their kids did, and so they had like just really kind of were like behind times this is probably like 2007 or some shit like that. And so all they had was just VHS shit, and so we would just watch all the VHS, and that was one of the movies. And I remember that movie kind of scared me. It's even kind of like a little scary, honestly, nowadays.
You ever gone on the ride?
Yeah, I fucking hate that shit. I cried, bro.
Damn. You're like, and now I have a project named after it.
But yeah, and so basically, long story short, the tape is about how in the movie these ghosts are trapped because of the spell and whatever. They're trapped in the hotel, and that is basically mimicking how I felt, like I was talking to you about, of just feeling trapped in my room and not really associating with a lot of people, not really having a lot of friends, just kind of feeling, it's basically kind of like putting myself in like a ghost, like I'm the ghost that's trapped in this hotel that doesn't leave, and I can't leave. And then Curb is like another ghost that's in the hotel with me, and we're just cooking up some heat.
I can't wait to hear that. I love that idea. And I love the thought process you put behind your work and your creation. That's something I really respect. And I'm happy we now have had people are only going to listen to 1 hour of our conversation, but we've had 2 hours of conversation, 2.5 hours of conversation now. And I really,
are you for real, bro?
Yeah. We're at an hour 10 right now. And the last one was like an hour 15.
Oh, okay.
But, I'm just like, I really love how the thought process and how deeply you think about the work that you're creating. And that's something I really appreciate.
Hey, thank you, man. And that's really just a big thing that I try to push with my projects, especially if I'm producing it. Like that whole tape is actually sampled from the soundtrack at Tower of Terror in Disney World. So like the songs that they play at the hotel at the ride is like part of what I sampled to make the tape.
Oh, that's dope.
And yeah, I mean, I kind of had some other ideas to shoot some VHS, like some film and whatever, but I'm just kind of like pushing it. And then, like I told you, I have the actor. His name's Alistair Duncan. He's done some voiceovers and shit in God of War, and he's more known for his video game voiceovers. But he played like the butler in that movie, and I got him to do a cameo for me. So that's done. I have it, and it's really cool because he's like Warrenk and Curb Goop, and like it's just
that's dope as fuck. So. That's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
So that's going to be coming out in like a month or so, you'd say?
Yeah, like soon.
That's awesome, man. And where can people find your shit?
You can just look me up on the internet under Warrenk. I should pop up. A lot of people put a space under my name for Warren space K, just one word, Warrenk, no space. Just on SoundCloud, Twitter, Instagram. That's about it.
Man, thank you so much for doing this. I'm really happy we got another one in. I'm sorry we lost the first one.
Hey, it's all good, bro. I really appreciate you bringing me back in, and we had a great interview.
Awesome, man. Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.